Jeez, you've been sitting here talking.
Oh, are we
I am so
sounding
sorry.
now, people?
Yeah.
Now it's a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, there
Hear
we
music,
are.
no voices.
Sorry, hear music with no voices. So I guess when Streamlabs crashes, it goes back to my default starting mode, which is having everything muted. Sorry about that. Well, the good news is we can cut through half of this, and hopefully when Zweihander posts it on their channel, they can cut that part. We'll see. Great.
We were just discussing mechanics.
We'll just go ahead and zoom through it. So what we're going to do is Maythrell's first. Maythrell's going to decide to subdue with the weapon. And I was reading that out, and then I was like, oh, I should probably talk into the mic so everyone can hear me. And that's when everyone's like, oh, we can't hear you at all. So...
Thank you for letting us know, Ty.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. How long we've been talking for 4 minutes and they've not been able to hear us. We've been streaming for 4 minutes and 30 seconds. One of these, yeah, exactly, Ty. One of these days we'll be able to get through an episode without a tech error.
I think episode 1 was fine.
Yeah, episode 1 went great, man. I think there was probably I know there was a mute error there, but it was, you always get the first one. Alright, so... Yeah. The damage you inflict on your attack action cannot inflict injuries or cause a foe to bleed. If the damage you would inflict would normally render a foe slain, they are grievously wounded instead. They suffer no injuries, and they cannot be made to bleed. However, they are instantly incapacitated and made helpless for a number of turns equal to your combat bonus. You cannot subdue with a ranged weapon. Alright, so long story short, you're going to go ahead and attack this dude. And you just don't actually deal injuries. So I'm going to use one of my attack actions, one of my APs, to dodge, because I do not want to get beaten with the flat end of your sword. But you roll first, because if you critically succeed, I don't get to even roll.
I did not, so you can go ahead.
Oh, gotcha. You did, but you succeeded? So.
I did succeed, yeah.
I did not succeed at dodging. So, you were going to go ahead and roll damage. So, you do a base amount of damage, and then you're going to roll a fury dice.
Okay. What is my base?
Your base for your mortuary sword is 8. It is vicious and punishing. You get an additional to determine injuries, punishing... immediately after striking this foe, a weapon of this quality adds an additional fury dice and total damage in exchange for spending an additional action point. So you could spend an additional action point to get an extra d6 worth of damage.
But I only get to do my base amount of damage anyway, right?
No, what happens is you just essentially cannot inflict injuries. Now, if you do enough damage over his threshold that you would instantly kill him, you knock him out.
Okay.
So you're really just taking the blunt end of your sword and beating him with it.
And this is only one action point that I'm doing this with, yeah?
Right now, if you spend an additional action point, that's where you pick up the additional.
Gotcha. Okay. Alright. I will do that.
Gotcha. So you're gonna roll 2d6. Any of the 6s you get to re-roll and add it, and it counts as 1 die.
I did get 1 6.
Alright.
Yeah.
And if it,
so 10.
10 on your dice roll, and then you add your damage of 8. So it does 18. Oh, I don't have any NPCs ready to go, but we'll just take a look at you and see what you look like on your own. There you go. Wow, yeah, so you drop him down 3 steps on the condition track, and since he's an NPC, I'm not going to worry about it too much. So he starts to run away, and just in a quick blurry of motion, you move up on him and just knock him, you pommel strike him right in the back of the head. He falls over, drops the bread. What do you do?
I am going to... I'm gonna call for, well, how big is the tent city? How far away are the...
It is, I'm gonna say the overall space is to use, it's about the area of a football field and a half.
Okay. And how close by would you say are the, the food handouts to where I am currently? Within yelling distance?
They would not be able to hear you clearly, but they could hear that someone is yelling.
Okay.
Like, they wouldn't know, like, oh, that's Maythriel, unless you start yelling in Elvish or something like that. Then, if any of them, they'll be like, that is a strange foreign tongue someone is yelling in.
I think what I might do is just try and start dragging him.
Oh, gotcha. You're just gonna grab him?
Hand the bread back?
You can pick it up.
Nah.
Oh, wait.
No.
Round deer can feed itself.
Yikes.
I probably saved her life, so whatever.
Yeah,
She can have the. She can have.
the
her
least she
dirty
can do
floor
is
bread.
pick up her own food. Gotcha.
Exactly.
More things to worry about.
All right.
I just
So
don't
you're
want-
gonna start dragging the unconscious infected man towards the food station. We'll go to you, Albrecht, as you're being shooed away from people for your crazy talk, and everyone's worried about you. You will turn and you will see Maythriel, or actually you will see a hooded figure dragging an unconscious person towards the food stand. What do you do?
That seems curious enough. I guess I'll approach that.
Gotcha. As you get closer, the hooded figure is Maythriel, and that is one of the unconscious, or that is one of the infected guards.
Got him.
Well, I can't say that this was the plan, but you have succeeded.
Is this the one that I initially caught?
I'm gonna say it's his buddy. This was this was like not the one, and I can't remember their names. I'd have to try to find my notes. It's been, like I said, 2 months.
This one's Jekyll, not Heckle.
Yeah, there you go.
Statler and Waldorf. I don't.
Yeah, this one is Waldorf.
And this was one of the guards that we thought we could trust telling, and then
Yes.
ended leaving. So we don't even know if he's infected. Awesome.
Right.
You don't know if he's infected technically. I mean, you could start the cavity search or whatever Albrecht was mentioning a couple episodes ago.
Let's do it. No, could we do actually? Yeah. If
So are you gonna do that
Right here in front of everybody.
as they're getting their breakfasts? Just
Dinner
We're not a
and
cavity
show.
search, but let's search.
Brown,
Let's
there's
search the.
a dirt.
Can we search the visible parts of his body?
yeah, with a quick search, you will find a wound on his side that is
Okay.
green.
Okay, I didn't mean that we were gonna drop his trousers or anything. I just
Yeah,
meant-
no.
Just do a quick shirt lift.
Yeah. So
right
with
there.
so he does have a green wound on his right side.
If I could, with potentially Albrecht's help, I don't know how much help he's gonna be, bring him to the Knight's Hospital Arc tent.
Yes, you could.
I would help you because we got to get this guy out of here, like now.
Yeah.
Now o'clock.
Gotcha. So, Adelaide and Lauren, as you are sitting there passing out food, you will see a hooded figure and Albrecht carrying an unconscious person towards the center of the camp.
This is fine. That
This
should
is-
be fine.
Just typical elf and magi stuff, you know.
Here's your bread. Brothers Hospitaller have a cure for the orc sickness apparently. I wonder where they're going as they walk into the tent.
And you better take it.
He must be sick. They're healers of all sorts. He clearly is unconscious.
We're helping him. He just had too much.
Helping.
All right, so with that, we'll go ahead. The food passing out is done, and I will assume, rather, I should say, as the line trickles down and the food and the rations have run out for the day, what does Lauren and Adelaide do?
To the tent.
Go to the tent. I didn't know if you guys.
Yeah,
That's what I thought you
I-
would do, but I didn't know if you'd have like some strange other plan, like, oh no, I got it. Let's
Give a date.
Yeah, I'm gonna just run through the rest
A
of the
blind
camp
date.
and just tent by tent. Oh, a blind date.
Oh, I'm
Listen,
so good.
I just didn't think. I was planning on being awkward at Adelaide for 5 more episodes before I admitted that.
Gotcha. Awesome. I love it. All right, so you guys eventually do catch up. We're just gonna go ahead and kind of hand wave. You guys didn't get too far in your strip search or whatever it is that you're doing with the guard. one of the Titus is about, so one of the hospitalers will let you in just an empty tent. It's probably Titus's tent himself, but he's not there. So the four of you are there with the unconscious but starting to stir guard. Like, you didn't, this isn't, as much as the movies knocked people out forever, it don't really work like that. He's starting to be like, touching the back of his head. So what do you guys do?
Hit him again.
You better restrain him.
No.
Got any water in a bucket lying around?
Oh, we don't need to waterboard him yet.
Splash on his face once.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Wake him up.
Sure. There's a cloth and a bucket of water.
But do you want him to run? Because he's probably going to run if he awakens.
Gotta be surrounded.
Yeah, he's kind of surrounded here.
All right, I'm interested to see how this plays out.
I mean, I think at least restrain him.
Lauren and Maithriel, I'm sure, can kind of share a look of like,
I can't see this look.
that's
Can I go look for Titus?
No, or that.
Sure, yes. That actually sounds like
I
a
don't-
good...
I'm like, I'm not the strongest or anything, so if he tries to put up a fight, I think I'm just gonna get in the way.
we'll tie his
It's like,
we'll tie his
shoelaces
wrists.
together or whatever.
Yeah, we'll tie his
All right.
we'll tie his shoelaces together and then tie his wrist. We'll take his shoelaces and tie his wrists together with them.
Oh,
What?
I love it when I just got an evil idea. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
My,
no.
You know how much notes I wrote for this episode? None. So I'm glad this is working out. Good.
we love to see it. Oh no,
Yes,
what's your evil
yes.
plan? No,
All
no,
right, so-
Adam, stop it.
All right. So, you guys bound the wrists, not very well, but enough to give you a little bit of a warning that he might be trying to struggle. If he's particularly clandestine, he could probably wiggle out of these, but you do what you can as he's stirring. So he will eventually, like, kind of roll over and see you guys, and he's trying to kind of, like, crawl away. And he's, like, very freaked out, so... And I gotta be careful so I don't rip my clothes off anymore, so he's like...
Nope. And Maithriel will kind of put a hand on his chest and kind of apply some light pressure, but you're not getting up.
We're not. You don't believe us when I say we don't have any nefarious plans for you. However, we can't let you spread what you have to the others because that is a city and people are hoping to get into the city. And I don't know if you've doomed people to death before, but it's not fun.
Yes, Ty, I see you raising your hand.
am I going to find Titus?
Yeah, you've already left, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hey,
you're gone, yeah. Mhm.
We're not trying to harm you. We're trying to help you.
Struggle will only bring harm to you, so
Where's your
relax.
friend?
He's out in the camp.
Where?
We were staying on the east side of the camp.
Good to know.
We were just getting I was just trying to get some food.
Well, we were handing it out. I didn't see you there. You weren't trying that hard. It was right there for the taking.
Let's just say we knew you were here.
Right. Do you want to turn into an orc? Let's just start there, baseline.
No, Who would want such a fate?
Are you going to let the Brothers Hospitaller try to cure you?
Well, it seems like I don't have any choice. But it sounds better than turning into one of those things.
Smart boy.
Does your friend feel the same way?
Huh. Yeah. Who wants to turn into an orc? No. Who wants to lose yourself? They say it's
People
a fate
who-
worse than death.
People who get confronted and then run.
Well, I mean, isn't there... Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Matriel. Isn't there a point in this where you compulsively try to spread it? Were you the one who told me that?
There is, in fact, a stage where that happens.
So... Just trying to nip this in the bud here.
I don't like the phrase, nip it in the bud.
Do you want us to then say, I don't know, we need to pull the teeth out before they grow in? I don't know.
Perhaps behead the problem.
If... Not better.
While you guys are talking, we will let Adelaide. I'm gonna give you a. You're gonna make a check for me. We're gonna see how quickly you find Titus.
Yes, save this man from us.
Yeah. I guess you're just gonna make an awareness check. So for you, Adelaide, I'm just not sure how well you can read your sheet with your eyes. You're rolling at a 39%. So here's what I'm gonna do. To find Titus isn't particularly hard. You need to you're making that check at a +10, but don't let go of your dice too far because you're gonna be making another roll after that.
They're on my computer, so we're all good.
Ah, there you go.
So I got a 24.
24. Okay. So you're able to you potentially will be able to find Titus with no problem, but I'm going to need actually here. I am going to roll first. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So I need you to make another awareness check, but you're making it just normal now. And that's at a 39.
Whew, 14.
14. Okay, you this is gonna go a lot better for you than it potentially could have. All right, so this is it's the morning. I would say it's approximately like 9 o'clock at this point. So you are moving through the camp, looking about. You'll see a Knight's Hospitaller there, but you see him off in the distance, Titus. You start to move a little closer. Like, but he's still a little bit of a distance off. But kind of out of one of the tents, very quickly will move the other guard. But he's moving at you with a very serious intent, and he has a knife. So let's go ahead and roll initiative, shall we?
Alrighty,
That's a D10. You're gonna roll just one D10.
Oh no. Precious baby. Oh no.
1d10, right?
Don't you dare hurt the bean. Yes, it's 1d10.
Someone call me a bean?
Yes.
Oh.
Mhm.
Just out of the bean.
The bean.
You're not
Blessed.
a bean.
I hopefully still have my dagger.
Yes, you do. Okay. My initiative is 12. What's yours?
Wait, you said roll 1d10?
So you're rolling
Yes,
1d10
plus your
initiative, which
initiative
for you is
modifier.
7.
For me is 7. Okay, so I got 13. Yeah.
13? Yeah.
Nice.
So there you go. That means you will get to act first. You have 3 action points, and the missing guard is coming at you with a very intent face and a dagger. What do you do?
Well, I'm gonna grab my dagger
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of like get in a stance like I'm ready, and I'm also gonna yell for Titus.
There you go.
All right, you're gonna yell. All right,
Loud as I can.
loud as you can. All right. So it takes you 1 action to draw. I don't like yelling for someone. Doesn't really do an action. So I'm checking here just to see if there's something we can do that as well. Yeah, it's not- okay. So I'm just gonna say that's free for you to yell out someone's name. So you still have 2 action points left. You could save them to parry if you just don't want to get stabbed. All right. Well, you call out. I see no reason to assume that your call out would not be heard. So, but before that, let's let the guard at least get an action in. I'm actually trying to, let's see here. Alright, I'm going to try to knock you out. Knockout. When engaged with a foe, make an athletics test. If successful, the foe is immediately knocked out. Well, knocked out. So, first things first, so I'm making an athletics check. You'll get to dodge, but we got to see how well he rolls. I totally miss. I'm going to try again. Because I'm just rolling. I critically fail to knock you out here.
Yes.
So he comes at you. What should be the result of the critical failure here, right? So he swings. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking he's kind of trying to grab you. Like he's, his immediate. Like he doesn't. If he was trying to stab you, he could have done that. So he's really more grabbing at you to kind of, and then like swinging at you, because he seems like he wants you, but not necessarily you as a dead body at the second. He trips and falls on his knife. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll go ahead. Yeah, so I'm gonna say I nick myself, and let's just see what happens here. We're just gonna say I have to roll a 6 to actually do any more damage. So he does trip and fall on his knife, but he rips his own clothes. He's fine. He's safe, at least from his own attack. You have let out a scream, though. At this point in time, I'm gonna spend my last action point to run.
I'm gonna run after him.
You're gonna run after him. Okay. All right. So to recap here, this guy appears out of a tent. He's moving towards you. You grab your dagger, call out for Titus, and he's trying to grab at you. You struggle to get away. During that struggle, he trips, falls, nearly stabs himself, and decides his attempts to seize you have failed, begins running off, and then you give chase. Let's go ahead, and we're just going to roll athletics checks, just to see what happens here, to see if you can keep up with him. Actually, let me check your speed. I don't think you have a particular... Actually,
I never really had use for running when I couldn't see, so...
Exactly. Gotcha. Let me look at your... Yeah, you are not particularly quick, but let's go ahead and make an athletics check, see what happens. Or coordination. Athletics or coordination. I'll let either or apply. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna use coordination because it's a little bit higher.
Gotcha. You may have not had to run as a blind person, but you did need to, not trip.
All right, I got a 26.
26. Okay, you both succeed. Since you didn't critically succeed, he is still able to keep a distance from you. What would I do?
I have one more action.
Yeah, what would you like to... Is there something you would like to use it for?
Well, if I was close enough, I was gonna try to tackle him, but...
I will let... So here's the thing. If you want to keep pace with him to not lose him, you don't want to do that. But if you want to risk it in a wild tackle for him, I'll totally let that happen. But if you miss, he's going to be able to get away from you. So
Okay, I will
You're gonna do what?
keep pace with him.
Keep pace. Keep pace. All right. Cool. All right. So he is. Let's see here. I'm running from. Okay. So. Where do I want to go? All right. So here's what I'm gonna do.
Oh yeah, can I?
What'd you say? You want
Can
to
I
keep?
keep yelling?
Oh
or
yeah, I
try to-
figured you were. I figured I figured you were still. Yeah, you're trying to get help. You know, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not the ninja here, so you're definitely on your own
Yeah.
in that regard.
Thank-
So Titus, he's behind you a little bit, especially if like he at first walks over like, oh, this is suspicious. What's going? Oh, she's running. So he starts to follow you as well. So he's a little bit of a distance behind you, but he can still see you. If you look back, you can still see him, and you know. So he's at the back, you're in the middle, and that's where. So I am going to make a desperate attempt to escape. If I roll bad, I might not get to escape. Let's see what happens. Let's see what my dice rolls are. Okay, well, the gods are with you today. Luminoy has blessed you, Adelaide. So the town itself, remember I said it's surrounded by a wall, but I believe I said the wall was wooden. It's not this big fortress. So he kind of tries to duck and slide into this small hole that is in the wall. It's not very big. It's really hard to get through. But apparently somebody has dug a little bit of a hole to make it easier to get through. He was going to try to be cool and try to slide on through, but he fails. Not enough to hurt himself, but so he's kind of starting to... He kind of is first, tried to slide through very cleanly. Doesn't work, so he's scrambling to get through the wall. That gives you a moment. You're up on him. He's trying to crawl through. What do you want to do?
Grab his hair.
Yeah.
Sure. Because we'll say he got his feet through. I like that. Yeah.
Have clothes. You can't shimmy out of your hair.
There you go. I like it. Go ahead. Give me a simple melee check, Adelaide. And your simple melee is 45 because you were trained simple melee by Mathriel.
Yes.
I just now imagine that training and then grab him by the hair.
Yeah. Mathriel probably said that exact line. They can wiggle out of clothes. They cannot wiggle out of their hair.
That actually
Right.
does sound like a Mathriel thing. That really does.
And then you gore them in the... Oh, sorry, you don't.
All right, what'd you get, Ty? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
That's a good 43.
43? Barely. All right, you're able to get a hold of him. I'm going to try to dodge, but I'm going to be at a little bit of a penalty because I'm kind of in an awkward spot. So I'm going to give myself a -10 because I feel like... I feel like he's in a tough spot. You know what? I'm just... Because I don't have... I initially have like an NPC thing that's on my computer, but as we established, I can't use my computer for much. So I'm just using Mathriel as a nice base point here.
I'm offended.
Yeah, okay. What'd you say?
That I'm offended.
That's fine. All right, so I'm going to spend a misfortune point to re-roll because I failed by... so now you guys have 2 fortune points and I have 2 misfortunes. I critically fail. Darn. If this would have been normal, he'd have been fine. But there you go. All right, that's what happened. So,
Bless be to Luminoy.
yeah. So he's
Us today.
yeah, exactly. Luminoy
Luminoy.
is guiding your hands as you suddenly. Now he doesn't have a lot of hair because he's a little bit of a soldier, but enough for you to just get a. You got a nice handful of it, and yeah. Use different dice at him. I mean, that's what I got.
Put it in dice
So,
jail.
yeah, you got a hold of him good. He's screaming. So that was your action. So you still have 2 action points left. What do you want to do? You could save them to dodge or try to keep holding on to him, or you could try to drag him out.
Is he trying to hit me?
He's probably not going to let you sit there and pull his hair when it gets to his turn. I'm just going to...
Unless
Sit
he's
on
into
him.
that.
unless he's into that, but this is not the time to do that.
How far is he underneath the fence?
I kind of see you got his legs through by the
Okay.
time you caught up to him.
I'm gonna sit on his chest. Actually, I'm gonna kneel on his chest.
Gotcha.
Whew.
Okay. All right.
Like, he's. I mean, I'm not like, very very heavy. I'm not gonna like crush his ribs or sternum or anything. But
you're using your weight
But he-
to stop him from
Yeah.
moving. You're trying
But
to...
he ain't
Yeah.
going anywhere if you do that to him.
Gotcha.
What?
I like that.
Put your knees like right on his shoulders. He ain't going anywhere.
It's true.
Like, right.
Yeah.
I feel like that is a... chokehold, plus knockout, plus dying roll.
It would be like a...
It's like a grapple, and I'm really thinking...
Yeah, it technically.
I'd say grapple.
Yeah, I just don't see grapple real quick. Before you attack team. I'm gonna still count it as an athletics check. That's what we're gonna do. You're gonna make an athletics check against his athletics. Yeah. Oh, and Tidorf does bring up a good idea, Ty. Dagger to the throat.
Oh.
After you get on. Man, these are bad dice. They are just not doing well.
You keep using them. They'll turn around for you, and next roll for sure.
I got 30. I get close for comfort there.
Whew.
Gotcha. Well, you know what? You did good enough. So you are, you get on top of him, knee to the sternum, and knife to the throat, kind of thing.
I like to the third idea.
Handful of hair, knife
Yeah,
to the
handful.
throat. This
Yeah,
dude
you
is...
are not fucking around.
Whew.
That's for sure. And he's gonna at least try to struggle away because he's got one action point. Let's just see if he can get away. One more athletics check, Adelaide. Let's see here. All right, I actually did well, but if you succeed, you still maintain the hold. I'm gonna give you a +10 because you have the knife too.
Yes!
Yeah.
So 43.
Yes.
So I would have failed if you didn't give me that 10.
Hey.
Woo!
I got
Luminoi is a generous god.
yeah.
All right. So with that, you put the knife to his throat. He's struggling. By then, Titus and at least one of his poor knights are with you and upon you, and they are able to subdue him. And with that, I think it's a good time to take a break, guys. What do you think? I think it's a
Sounds
good
good
time.
to
All
me.
right, guys. Yeah. So sorry about losing the connection earlier, everybody. So I'm keeping an eye on the time. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick break, and when we come back, we will find out what the heroes are going to do with their two captured infected. Will the cure work? What is the cure? And all sorts of that, because we are in the grimdark world of Zweihander and Silver and Blood. I'm pretty sure it's not just take 2 of these and call you in the morning. So we will see you guys here in just 1 second. I should have the sound transitioned. I see levels. All right, guys. Welcome back to our conclusion, at least of this episode, of Silver and Blood. At the end of the episodes, I got a couple of options, or a couple ideas for you guys. I was just on the Discord chat, where there's just the Twitch people talking about potential ideas for the future. And if you stick around, you know, maybe I'll just spit fire at you guys, and you guys tell me what you think. Sound like fun? Hope so. All right, let's check, see if there's anybody fun going on in the chat. Can't touch this. Yep. Yeah. Adelaide suddenly became a badass. You know, you spend all the time. Yeah. What do you know? It turns out that monkish order also taught martial arts too. You know.
Hey?
I'd wait an eternity to see you all play again. Oh, Coconut Clifford, I think you're biased.
Yes.
That's okay. I've enjoyed. You know, my kind of little axiom I've read recently in regards to Twitch streaming. This is specifically towards like video gaming, but I think it applies to this. It's like, don't worry about your views. If you only have 10 viewers, do you have 10 of your friends, flesh and blood, that would come to your house and watch you play insert game? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't think there's 10 people I know that would just come and watch me play D&D with my friends. So
that's
thank
where
you
you're
all.
wrong.
I mean, yeah, but I also feel like you know, Caroline would feel like, I think you would honestly be like, why am I not playing this? So, you know.
I mean, you'd have a very noisy peanut gallery, but
that's for sure. All right, let's get back into it and try to wrap this up. Let me check the time. I remember what we had before. All right, cool. We're doing good. Or I could just like actually check the real time. Gotcha. There we go. Cool. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get back into it. We're going to fast forward a tiny bit. With Titus's help, and as well as the help of the other Poor Knights, everyone will reconvene back at the tent, in which you have both Adelaide, excuse me.
No, it's okay. As soon as Adelaide gets to the tent and sees Maithriel, she goes, I did what you told me.
Get him by the hair.
And tells her all about how she subdued this man. Very proudly and excitedly.
You did well.
That'll do, pig. That'll do. That'll do, round ear. That'll do.
There it is.
You'll make an honorary Valley Knight, or Elvi.
There you go. All right, so you have the two infected collected. I like how that rhymed. So here's the good news. As far as the current scholarship, and I say that actually with like, Albrecht will defend that current scholarship. Like, there were studies done on the orc sickness, probably terribly barbaric, but there were studies done. While the wound is still green, you are not infectious. You just become paranoid. It's once the wound stops being green, that's when you enter the extremely infectious stage, as in like they could spit at you. And you know, if it gets in your eyes or your mouth or things or a wound, then you're in trouble. So yes, you have prevented the spread, unless of course potentially, as I said, you know, when the Tenebrae, the dark moon, is in full and the silver moon is gone Luna. But that's not now. That happens like once a year, so you guys are fine in regards to that. The rumors, and I say, that's when I really say scholarship, say that it can spread, you know, spontaneous cases, what have you, things like that. So you were there with Titus, two other members of the Poor Knights, and the four of you. What do you do?
Well, not ideally how we wanted to get you guys here, but you're here and that's what's important.
Have we checked the other person to make sure that their wound is green?
Yes. His was on his arm, because that's how I believe Maithriel saw it last time. It's still green. It is actually probably at its greenest at this point. So it will start subsiding, because it's been like, I think, 2 to 3 days. So yeah, I think at least what I have written so far in my 50 pages on the setting, I think I put it the first part as a week, as it takes for that to go away. And after that, that's when it's terrible, at least in regards to infection. So you have them. They're struggling. You can definitely tell, at least in regards to behavior-wise, the first guard, the guard that had his arm cut, is a little bit more the mania, the paranoia has started to take over him. He is struggling really hard against his bonds. The other gentleman seems to be a little bit more complacent or cooperative, or at least is waiting for the opportune moment to strike. The other guy is just fighting against his bonds in every way. Probably, actually, Adelaide, you probably have discarded a bit of his hair between the walls and here. Like,
If he didn't struggle.
yeah, he just. But that was, as you can see, as he's clearly tied up and surrounded by armed individuals, he was gonna struggle. So what do we do?
Titus, is there anything we can do to help the process? Prep for it?
We will. So he will go over to this chest, and he will open it up and kind of reach into the bottom, and there is another essentially smaller chest. He'll set it down, open it, and there is a glass vial, and the glass vial is maybe like it's like that big tops, it's just the empty space, and inside of it is water with tiny flakes of silver. Here. I'm not even going to worry about the roll, but I'm going to see who would even know real fast. 40, so that's Adelaide. You would have heard of it.
I hope the mage would know.
Yeah, the mage must. I'm pretty sure he does. Lauren, you know. I think it's pretty much. Alright, so everyone else has heard of it, but Albrecht, you'll be able to identify it. This is what's called moon silver. And moon silver is essentially the most purest form of silver that, as far as you know, Tishrata is the only place you could find it in the 13 Kingdoms. Back when the Imperium Magnum still ruled. The king has a moon silver crown. And anything that's made of moon silver, especially any substantial, its value is astronomical. No one has found a moon silver mine in decades, especially, yeah. So it is very rare. Albrecht, you will know it actually has some properties, particularly against werewolves, or also the Boxen, which is a separate. There is a. There we go. I guess this is a good time to tell you guys all those pages of lore I wrote down.
Yes!
Okay, so, you know what? I'm going to pull that up just because it's like, yeah, I did write all that down. I might as well pull it up.
Story time!
Yeah, there you go. Fancy. Yeah. Everybody
Scoot
else.
your cushions up, kiddos.
Yeah. Pull up a seat. We will, you know what I'll do? I'll just write it. There it is.
Stares longingly at the
Yeah,
magic
these are
silver.
tiny little flakes. Yeah. Oh, this is, yeah. There is probably a fair amount of stags and dragons in there. I forget what I named the coins. I have to look them up. The Legend of Sabine and the Boxen. So, the legends say that the Boxen were chosen by the old gods to rule the lands. In exchange for their obedience, the gods would give them power to defeat any foe. The Boxen accepted, and they indeed ruled the land. And at the light of the full moon, they became monstrous beasts and would seek out and slay their enemies. The lands and its people suffered under the Boxen rule, but none could challenge their power in the material realm. I realize I drop a dice. Who knows where that went? It is said that Sabine, who is the first queen of Silver Rock, back when it became Silver Rock, was lost in the forest during a harsh winter when she and the she was beset by a pack of wolves. She slew the alpha with her bare hands and wore its pelt to protect herself from the cold. Cold and freezing, she huddled in a cave near a fire she had built. It was there that the silver wolf appeared to her from the ether and spoke to her. The silver wolf was impressed by her cunning and strength and offered her its power to Sabine in exchange for Sabine's loyalty. She accepted, and the silver wolf led her deeper into the cave, into a pool of moon silver. From this pool, the silver wolf forged a silver dagger. In the winter passed, and Sabine led her family to the seat of the Boxen and challenged the king, as she had been commanded by the silver wolf. In the ethereal realm, the silver wolf had issued a challenge to the old gods. If its champion defeated their champion, they would leave these lands and never return. The gods who were promised the land snarled at the silver wolf for gifting this girl its power, but they knew there was no law against it, and they accepted it. Sabine slew the monstrous Boxen king in single combat with the silver dagger and the light of the full moon. The deep magic of the ether bound the old gods and retreated to the lands to relinquish the power of the silver wolf, cursing its name as they fled. In turn, the silver wolf granted rulership to Sabine and her descendants, and her line has remained unbroken to this day.
Ooh.
Incidentally, too, there is a kingdom to the south of you called the Kingdom of the White Lion, which is where the Boxen live today, or where the Boxens are still revered today.
Cool.
As I close my iPad, and which has all the monitoring of the stream, I should probably
yeah, open that back up.
There we go. So there you guys go. That's a little bit. So that's why moon silver is so important. It is connected to the silver wolf. So as Titus produces this tiny bit of metal in this liquid suspension, it is a full moon tonight. This is the purest thing that we can understand to magic and to science. It is believed that ingesting this it can cure them. Or it will accelerate it. And they will become orcs that very night and must be slain. But we will know. So he will set the vial down at that statement. What does everyone do?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Because I suppose either way we should begin. One way or another, their fate shall be decided.
I agree.
I look at our captives. Well?
How much of that do you have?
This is it.
That's enough for both of them?
I hope. This has not been tried too often. It's written of in the Legion's documents, but those are a century old, and moon silver is hard to come by. We could try to do a sip to each, or all to one, with the hope that the purity of the moon silver. That being said, that's actually a really good use of your alchemy test there, Albrick. Why don't you go ahead and make an alchemy test? While you're doing that, I'll check.
As a side note,
Yes, go ahead.
if this is only potentially 2 doses, are they worth it?
Ooh, I like the elf.
Ooh.
Asking the tough questions.
Lauren looks genuinely conflicted at that, of like, ooh, that's a good point. Are they? But then there's like another part of her goes, well, but they are people, so
Well, either way, we learned something. It's a bit of an experiment.
Yes.
So
If they do die, then we know what doesn't work.
I will mention, at least for the purposes of your sheet, this is more of a role-playing guide and things like that. Adelaide, your order alignment is gentility. So, might be something to consider in making a decision. Now, you can make any decision you want, but if you tend to make the more gentle and kind thing, you have a chance of going up in an order rank.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
That's fine. I'm just like, I think when you get to order rank 10, like when you max it all the way up, at a certain point, that's when you get additional fate points, and fate points are like that's you spend those to avoid death. Like,
Yeah.
Those are the big ones.
Yeah. Adelaide looks like shocked at this like statement, I guess. And turns to Maythril. They might be sick, but they're still Luminoi's children. They deserve a chance, just like you would.
I just mean that maybe someone more important along the line might need it. I see what you're saying. I'm just thinking that it's a sparing thing. And if we don't have a lot of it, and then somebody who has a greater value down the line might need it, and we use it on these two.
Well, this isn't ours to give. This is Titus's.
I suppose, yeah, it's up to you, Titus. You have that. We can't make the decision for you.
Ian, what'd you get on your alchemy check?
49. So that's I have an alchemy of 53.
Nice.
So, from what you understand of the properties of moon silver, the wisdom of giving it to one increases the opportunity, increases the chance of it being successful. Not that the odds are great to begin with. Like, this is untested stuff. But moon silver does have a lot of these kind of properties. It harms monsters. It is, it's the kind of magic weapon against many creatures.
So one of them is a little further along, right?
One of them, no, because they're both infected at the same time. It just appears that the lead guard he's given into the mania a little bit more. But, what leads to that? Does that mean the infection is worse? Does it mean that perhaps he's just doesn't have control of himself to begin with, and now that, he's infected, so you don't know.
Well, chancing it with one or both of them would probably... I would prefer that than just letting this continue and fester and spread. I think we told enough people this morning, about the cure that if there were any others that might be, if there were anyone else, that there would be more people here. That's what I'm trying to say. If there were more infected, more people would be brought in, one would think.
Keep going,
We have
guys.
to
I
know.
dropped a dice.
We have to know if this works at all.
If this is all his supply, then this test would give a definite answer for future problems. It's either that or we kill them both. We can't just let them leave.
Well, there's a chance we have to kill them both anyways.
Right, but this gives them the fighting chance.
True.
And then for future, if people were to find more moon silver, then they will know if it works or not.
That's true.
The final say is up to you, Titus.
With the Magi's advice, the more we can the odds of saving one is better than saving both of them. But
I would recommend that you save one of them. That is my suggestion. Unless there is some means of increasing the potency of what little you have.
we would have to find more moon silver, and that
It's probably not going to happen tonight.
yes. Luminoy would. Tonight is a full moon. Let us hope and pray that Luminoy will give this dose strength and give it to the two. You know the legend of Sabine, and the full moon is an auspicious time. That is what my faith would command me to do.
Actually, is there moonlight getting into the tent?
Oh, it's only like noon. You guys
Oh.
got this done before lunchtime. What do you
Oh,
Yeah.
You guys are efficient. It's like, yeah.
I wanted to take it out into the moonlight and see what happens. But
We could wait till
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can totally. I mean, unless you guys have any major plans or preparations you want to make, we can totally fast forward till then.
I mean, I'm going to ask them in case we do have to kill them. Is there anyone you would like to say goodbye to? I'll see if I can get a message sent to them. If and when in the occasion that we have to kill one or both of them.
I like that. All right.
Who do you love?
Mhm.
Who do you want to say that you love? Who do you want to say goodbye to? Write a list.
Yeah, so that they after you have them there for a few hours, they will be a little bit more especially the kind of manic one will be a little bit more resigned to his fate. Before we go, I want to check Albrecht's spells. I'm pretty sure there's not a goddarn thing you can do, but I'm just looking here.
no, I don't think I have. Unless the magic circle does something.
Yeah, I'm reading
for
the
this.
magic circle here.
Seems like most of that has to do with like when I try to do a spell and it doesn't blow everybody up.
I mean, it'd be cool if that.
Yeah, that's
Could
what
help.
it does. Yeah, no, it's not gonna help that. It's gonna help. Yeah. All right, so we will go to that night. The poor knights, about a half dozen of them, in as much armor that is available to them. They will be armored up, have weapons ready for if this fails. The men will turn into orcs and then be infectious. If you are clawed, bitten, orcs are known to put their blood on weapons before they go into battle. So everyone is armored up with the best they can and the best the poor knights can afford. You guys will go some distance away from the camp, just in case they do get away, and so that the average people won't see, a bunch of, bound people slowly turning into orcs, which in the dark they won't be able to see, and, poor knights just murdering tied up people. All reasons to not do this just in front of everyone.
Okay.
In the moonlight, though, yes, moon silver is extremely shiny. It seems to catch every light that it possibly could. You guys watch as the poor knight, especially Titus. These men are tied up to essentially a stake that has been put into the ground. And two of the other, so each of these men will have a poor knight near them who essentially will hold them back so that they will drink this liquid. Let's see if they're able to keep it together, because this I think would be a very frightening experience. Oh, that's right. Never mind. I won't even worry about that. Yes, this sounds like a great and terrifying thing for you guys to watch as this strange ritual is undergoing. Why don't we? No, I'll wait till the end. We'll wait till the end. We'll just wait till the end after all the terribleness happens. The poor knights will hold their mouth open as Titus pours a little bit of the drink down each one of them. It doesn't really, once it goes in their mouth, it doesn't seem like, oh god, oh, the agony, that's fine. They're like, oh, it's water with some silver flakes in it. Oh, it's, that was weird. But after that, after a few moments, they will begin to squirm in agony. And let's go ahead and roll to see what happens. This is a possible way to cure orc sickness, but it is not exactly, not particularly, there's some low chances here. So, you did split the doses up, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to roll for each of them. I got to roll a 10. I'm also going to roll a chaos dice with it, because if I get a 6, I'll come up with some BS terrible things that will happen as a result. So, let's go. Good news, no 6s. So, the men are bound, and after a few moments, they will kind of squirm in agony, and the first man's skin will begin to turn green. He will start to get bigger.
Got her hand on her.
He will get tusks, and he begins to speak in some strange language. Hold on, I gotta check something here. So will the other as well. It seems that the cure has been ineffective on both of them, as they slowly begin to turn into orcs. Here. On here. I need you, oh, that's asterisk, it means I think you have to be trained in it. Yeah, you know what? We'll just have it there. Maithriel, you need to make a intelligence check, but you're making a skill check, but you're making it you have to roll 17 or lower.
Oh god. 4.
4? You rolled a 4? Oh.
Dang.
As the now orcs speak out in this strange, dreaded language, it frightens you that this is some sort of related tongue to Elvi. Now, you do not there's just enough there to unnerve you, as you will recognize parts of words. And we're gonna roll one other thing here too. We're gonna roll a chaos die, guys. Actually, no wait, I have these misfortune points.
Great, even better.
I'm gonna go spend one of those misfortune points, see if one of them can get away. Let's see here. We're going to make an athletics check. See, can I break free from my terrible bonds? Yes, I break free. So he'll break free, snarl, and lash out at, and of course, OBS just died.
Tune in next time.